thunder, the ark before us, the trumpets cry. 7 days, 7 nights under the sky. March around the walls, they fall tonight. With every step the ground ignites. By the hand of God we claim the fight. Jericho burns in holy light. In a shadow pride took hold, a warning clear, the price of gold. Achan's greed, the cursed bread, ashes scattered, the living, the dead. But redemption comes through fire and pain. By his command we rise again. The sword is sharp, the covenant stands. Victory comes by his mighty hands. March around the walls, they fall tonight. With every step the ground ignites. By the hand of God we claim the fight. Jericho burns in holy light. Sun stands still, the moon delays. In battle's tide we see his ways. Command the stars, the heavens quake. The land we tread is ours to take. Oh Joshua, through the ages call. Faithful hearts will never fall. March around the walls, they fall tonight. With every step the ground ignites. By the hand of God we claim the fight. Jericho burns in holy light. Raise your voice, let the nations hear. The Lord of hosts forever near. From the Jordan's edge to the mountains high, his promise lives and will not die.
Good evening. Hope everyone's doing all right. Okay. I've got 5 different articles up to go over. Pretty busy news day, actually. Kind of was joking about the snowstorm that's coming. Now, the difference is in this particular new snowstorm is it's going to be in the southern states. It's going to be focused on the southern states. Do I think it's going to be Snowmageddon, the apocalypse, and all of that? No. Man, so you're telling me that the people that shunned mainstream media for hyping up, oh, cough, cough, jab, jab, are all in because they predicted a winter storm? Seems like they predicted a Snowmageddon that just went through. And it wasn't really Snowmageddon-y. I mean, we've got snow out there. We've got a significant snowfall. There's no doubt about that. I do know that there were some power outages in some places. Nothing real insane. It is what it is. It's cold. It's going to be cold for a little bit. It's what we normally call January. It's pretty much what we call January. So, I don't know. Whatever. I guess people have to get themselves all hyped up about something. I don't know. But we'll go over it briefly, very briefly. Winter Storm Cora, because they got to be named, to spread snow and ice through south from Texas to the Carolinas, including Dallas and Atlanta. So, this is from the Weather Channel. We might as well just go right to the head of the lying department. And, says various winter alerts, including winter storm watches, warnings, and advisories are shown in the map below. From the southern plains to the southeast, residents and travelers in these areas should prepare for impacts from this winter storm to begin arriving by Wednesday night or Thursday. Additional winter storm alerts will likely be issued further east along the storm's path over the next day or two. As often the case, there remains uncertainty in exactly where the lines between rain, ice, and snow will eventually set up. For now, here's our latest forecast. Check back with us at weather.com, blah, 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 for updates the next few days. So here's the timing. It says at least some areas of light snow, sleet, freezing rain, or drizzle may develop in the southern plains Wednesday night. Parts of the northern Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, southern Kansas, and southwestern Missouri are forecast to see snow. A band of sleet and freezing rain may stretch from central Texas into northern Louisiana and southern Arkansas. Driving could be hazardous by Thursday in Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Dallas, Fort Worth, Little Rock, and Texas Hill country. Any wintry this is Friday. I can't even speak. Wednesday night into Thursday is what I just read you. This is Friday. Any wintry precipitation in Oklahoma and Texas should end by midday. Snow will spread from the Mid-South region into Kentucky, Tennessee, far northern parts of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, into North Carolina, and possibly upstate South Carolina. Areas just south of this main band of snow might see a wintry mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain, generally near and north of Interstate 20 from northern Louisiana to Georgia. This could lead to treacherous travel throughout these areas, with some roads possibly becoming impassable, especially in hilly or mountainous terrain. Metro areas could see wintry travel conditions for at least part of Friday, including Atlanta, Birmingham, Charlotte, Huntsville, Little Rock, Memphis, and Nashville. Then Saturday, areas of snow may linger near the eastern seaboard as well as in the Appalachians, especially early. Some light sleet or freezing rain may also linger, especially early in parts of the Carolinas. Travel could be challenging from northern Georgia to parts of South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and perhaps the Delmarva Peninsula, again, especially early. So there you go. That's the long and the short of it. You don't need to freak out. I mean, that's the thing I don't understand. Realistically, other than probably screwing your own chances, realistically, what's the difference in approaching something calmly and approaching something with your titties in a twist? Common sense, for one, usually goes out the window. I don't know what to tell folks. I don't care whether you're up in the Yucatan or you're down in Brazil. I would tell you to be prepared for about anything, and that includes all elements. Yes, I would tell somebody in Brazil to have cold weather gear. Why? Hell if I know. However, if they ever need it and don't have it, they're pretty damn screwed, especially being from Brazil. I'm just saying. There's this thing with pole shift that I recall, and that's going to drastically change climates. You know, I mean, it's not like we found woolly mammoths with undigested food in their stomachs or nothing. I mean, it can't freeze that quick, can it? I emphasize, even if you're in Brazil or anywhere else in a tropic climate, make sure you have cold weather gear. That's not a, oh my God, the sky's falling, run in fear. No. It's called common sense and being prepared for as many situations as possible. Alright. There was an earthquake And it's usually sad whenever we hear about an earthquake in this area, near Mount Everest. And let's see. Earthquake near Everest leaves over 120 dead, says Xinhua. Powerful earthquake rocked China's Tibet Autonomous Region near Mount Everest, the world's highest mountain, early on Tuesday, killing at least 126 people and injuring 188, news agency Xinhua has reported. The quake's epicenter was located in remote Dingri County, about 50 miles north of Mount Everest, and at the shallow depth of 6 miles, according to the China Earthquake Network Center. The quake, which occurred just after 9 a.m. local time, had a magnitude of 7.1. The U.S. Geological Survey reported, while the Chinese authorities measured it at 6.8. In Shigasti City, and I'm sure I said that wrong, a significant center for Tibetan Buddhism and the traditional seat of the Panchen Lama, numerous buildings were reduced to rubble. Media showed footage of firefighters pulling an injured person from a collapsed house and soldiers setting up emergency shelters. Temperatures in the area plummeted to minus 6 degrees Celsius. That's 21 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty damn cold on Tuesday night, and were forecast to drop further, complicating rescue and relief operations. The tremors were felt across neighboring countries, including Nepal, Bhutan, and India. In Nepal's capital, Kathmandu, residents reported shaking but no significant damage. Similarly, the quake was felt in the northern Indian state of Bihar, though no major incidents were reported. Chinese President Xi Jinping has called for comprehensive rescue efforts to minimize casualties and ensure the resettlement of those affected. The government has allocated 100 million yuan, or about $13.6 million, for disaster relief. It's a hell of a lot more than what our government gives, though. I don't know, people that live in North Carolina, Tennessee. Additionally, Everest, scenic area on the Chinese side, had been closed as a precautionary measure. The region has experienced over 150 aftershocks, with the largest recorded at a magnitude of 4.4. The Dalai Lama, Tibet's spiritual leader in exile, expressed his condolences, stating he was deeply saddened by the loss of life and extended his prayers for the victims. The Dalai Lama is the leader of the Tibetan government. He's the leader of the Tibetan government in exile, which is pushing for autonomy within China, and has lived in India since the 1960s. Beijing considers the government in exile illegal and regards any outside support for the cause of Tibetan autonomy to be interference in its internal affairs. Sounds an awful lot like Taiwan. The region is vulnerable to seismic events attributed to the collision of the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates. 2015, a magnitude 7.8 earthquake near the Nepalese capital resulted in approximately 9,000 deaths. So, not good. Absolutely not good. Just in, Trump posts maps of Canada as U.S. territory. Pardon me. That's funny. We'll have to scoot that over there. Anyway, the next article I'm not really going to read a whole lot. I'm actually posting it more as a kind of a middle finger, and I shouldn't say who, but I'm going to. It's a channel that I just subscribed to. We'll see how long. I doubt I make it very long. Integrated Preparedness, I believe, is the channel. And he made a video today, and let me see what he called it. Let me run through my history real quick and pull it up. Um, I don't know, I think it's bullshit. He talked about an article, but the only way that you could get the link to the article was if you pay for his Patreon. And I don't know. I think that's kind of horseshit. That's something I promised I would never do. And I'm going to give you the link. Just because that's absolute horseshit. Yeah, integrated preparedness. The video was titled AI Threatens the Grid. And so I'm going to real quick in chat put a link to a Bloomberg article and do with it as you please. But you ain't got to pay a damn dime for it because that's a bunch of BS. Kind of crazy, to be honest. I'm not gonna... It's a long article. Another reason man. Well, I was able to read it. Okay. Open it in incognito mode, and you should be able to read it. Earlier, it let me read the damn thing. There is, let's see. Well, that sucks. I will try to find the other link I had. I did have another link from another website. Let me real quick. This shouldn't take me but a moment. No, close. Go to history. And I believe it started with a D. Hang on. I will find it. I was working on music a lot, so. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Aha! I got it. And this is the article we'll cover then. That one will let me open. Hang on. 1 second. Blow my nose. I have returned. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna make a video in the next couple of days. I got this nifty little thing in my pocket, and I know you can't see where the damn with it's so dark in here. But, this is actually a combination brush and comb. I kid you not. You may have heard when I said I'm letting my hair grow back out. And so I need a comb and a brush because it's not going to be a buzz cut anymore. And so anyway, I was just looking for a comb. Remember the combs back in the 90s, you know, you carried in your back pocket? I kind of wanted to go to the old days, right, and get one of those. I ran across these suckers, and they fold up. I really kind of wanted one of the combs that it's just a comb, but it's got a case that it flips into. It's pretty cool. Anyway, this is a comb and a brush. And the cool thing about this is they're just over like $1 a piece. And that makes them great for grabbing and throwing in like any type of I don't know what you call it, your preps. We have preps in there that are just kind of like overflows of stuff. And you name it. There's just various stuff in there, even fingernail clippers. And so, you know, grabbing a pack or two of these, which there's 6 in a pack for like $6 and some odd cents, just makes sense. Just makes sense. And I thought, man, that's going to be the cheapest piece of crap ever. No, it's actually made pretty good. It's actually made pretty good. So I'm going to be doing a video on those. I didn't get them sent to me or anything like that. I paid for them and... Anywho, talk about this AI thing. AI data centers causing distortions in U.S. power grid, says Bloomberg. Yeah, well, we're not reading it there because they're not nice. New evidence suggests that artificial intelligence data centers are distorting the quality of electricity delivered to homes, heightening the risks of appliance damage and fire. Okay? When you buy whether it be a generator or an inverter, solar generator, whatever, and some of the gasoline ones you hear referred to as inverter generators, and that means that they produce what they call pure sine wave. And what that means is if you look at an oscilloscope at that power coming out, the AC power coming out, it's like a hill. There's a center line, and there's like a hill that goes up and then swoops back down below the center line, and it's just nice, even, and it should be a nice steady format. No jerkiness whatsoever. That's what they call dirty. But when you hear about a modified sine wave inverter, what that is, instead of having the nice hills, it's like it's switched on. It goes straight up, and then it goes over a little bit, and then we'll go straight all the way down below the center line, and then go straight a little bit, then go back up above the center line, and it just keeps doing that. It's real super jerky, right? And that's not good on sensitive electronics. So that's what they're talking about here when they talk about like dirty power and the possibility of damaging your appliances. Because whether it's your washer, your dryer, your refrigerator, if you've got anything relatively new, that's going to have some pretty sensitive digital electronics in it because everything's got a computer of some sort in it today. So, it goes on to say a Bloomberg report using data from Whisker Labs and DC Byte has shown that the proliferation of data centers supporting AI applications is putting unparalleled strain on U.S. grid infrastructure and impacting the quality of power delivered to millions of consumers, especially in large data center markets like North Virginia. The issue, known as bad harmonics, correct, happens when the normal flow of electricity in steady waves is disrupted, causing erratic spikes and dips in voltage. Unaddressed, sudden surges or sags in electrical supply can lead to sparks and even home fires. That's not really hitting the nail on the head there. That's a bit wrong. I'm going to be honest. That's a bit wrong. However, the issues could be symptoms of a more significant problem. Harmonics are a pretty good canary in the coal mine for early signs of stress and problems, said Bob Marshall, CEO of Whisker Labs. Well, yeah. The report's analysis showed that more than 3/4 of highly distorted power readings in the U.S. are within 50 miles of large data center activity. New facilities adjacent to large U.S. cities have compounded this, further stressing the power grid. The Bloomberg analysis showed a strong link between proximity to data centers and worsening harmonics. The analysis is based on data from Whisker Labs, which uses around 1 million residential sensors to track power quality. More than half of the tracked households that show the worst distortions of power quality are located within 20 miles of significant data center activity. According to U.S. Census figures, 3.7 million people live in the most impacted zones, or areas, sorry. The issue of harmonics goes beyond, and this is important because this was just talked about today by Trump, okay? The issue of harmonics goes beyond whether there is enough power for basic appliances, as the distortion of energy flow means that its quality can be eroded, increasing the vulnerability of appliances to failure. These issues are expected to increase as larger data centers are connected to the grid. Data centers can be built quickly, often within a year or two of announcement, which limits the extent of grid planning that can be completed to meet the power demands of these facilities. And remember, they're trying to push everybody to go to all electric. It's especially important to understand the power system impact of AI because it's such a big hammer on the grid, said Hazala Dharmawadena, a senior member of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. Loudoun County, North Virginia, was pinpointed as a microcosm on the correlation between data centers and bad harmonics. Data analysis revealed that around 1.7% of sensors in the average county had at least one monthly reading that exceeded the 8% threshold for bad harmonics. In Loudoun, the share was more than 4 times higher than the average. So, now I'm not going to read the rest of it, but what I'm going to tell you is this. Today, Trump had a really long press conference. Said lots of interesting things during that press conference. Near the beginning of that press conference, he had talked about data centers and even had a gentleman come up to the podium and speak for a short time on these data centers. Trump already has it in the plans to give him the go-ahead to just go crazy with data centers all across the country. So I find it really interesting that there's an issue, but it's being ignored. Now, do I think that they're just out of their mind? Somebody's making something up? Nope. Nope. I could see it. I could see it. Man, AI, that's not a small program. You would probably be shocked. I would probably be shocked at how long it would take my computer using an AI script to bang out one of the songs that I'm having it make for the Bible series videos. Who knows how long it would take my computer to do that? Easily days. Easily days. I can understand. You know, you get a bunch of yahoos like me asking for songs from Suno, and next thing you know, whoever the hell lives around those servers are having power issues. Sorry, bro. Interesting, something to keep an eye on, especially with our grid being so already overloaded, really. Coffee. Coffee. We talked it about that and that and that. Oh yeah, I've had coffee every time today at morning, right before lunch, and tonight. And I just got grumbled at by the dog. She does not approve. Oh well. Probably gonna wing it. Like yesterday, I didn't have much interest for it. We'll see tomorrow. I might just have my morning coffee. That's okay with the princess. We never know. Never know. Sometimes breathing isn't okay with her. God forbid you have to kind of get in a more comfortable position in bed, because you're going to get huffed. Supposed to stay still so she can sleep and start dreaming and kick the shit out of you. You know. How that works. I love that kid. Probably hard to tell sometimes. We pick on her all the time. Anyway, changing gears. Pretty nasty fire going on in California. Now, we're not talking about LA. We're talking about the Pacific Palisades. I probably screwed up. Oh man, I did screw up the joke. I'm a total tool. I guess that is kind of a part of LA. So, I'm an idiot. Whatever. Moving on. Firefighters scrambled to corral to corral a fast-moving wildfire in the Los Angeles hillsides dotted with celebrity homes as a fierce windstorm hit Southern California on Tuesday, fanning the blaze seen for miles as scores of residents abandoned their cars and fled on foot to safety with roads blocked. I've heard some people, I haven't seen any of the video, I've heard some people describe that video as a movie-like. It was like watching a movie. Pretty crazy. About 30,000 residents are under evacuation orders, and more than 13,000 structures are under threat, said Kristen Crowley, fire chief of the LA Fire Department. California Gavin Newsom said he saw many structures already destroyed. Officials did not give an exact number of structures damaged or destroyed in the blaze. Cause of fire was not immediately known and no injuries have been reported, officials said at a news conference Tuesday afternoon. Newsom warned residents across Southern California not to assume they are out of danger, saying the worst of the winds were expected between 10 p.m. Tuesday and 5 a.m. Wednesday. It would suck if this is an all-night affair. Forecasters predicted the windstorm would last for days, producing isolated gusts that could top 100 miles an hour in mountains and foothills, including in areas that haven't seen the substantial rain in months. The National Weather Service said it could be the strongest Santa Ana windstorm in more than a decade across Los Angeles and Ventura counties. Roughly 500,000 utility customers were at risk of having their power shut off to reduce the risk of equipment sparking blazes. In the Pacific Palisades neighborhood in western Los Angeles, a fire swiftly consumed nearly 2/4 miles of land, sending up a dramatic plume of smoke visible across the city. Residents in Venice Beach, some 6 miles away, reported seeing the flames. It was one of the several blazes across the area. One of several blazes. Sections of Interstate 10 and the scenic Pacific Coast Highway were closed to all non-essential traffic to aid in evacuation efforts, but other roads were blocked. Some residents jumped out of their vehicles to get out of danger and waited to be picked up. Resident Kelsey Trainer said the only road in and out of her neighborhood was completely blocked. Ash fell all around them while fires burned on both sides of the road. We looked across and the fire had jumped from one side of the road to the other side of the road, Trainer said. People were getting out of their cars with their dogs, babies, and bags. They were crying and screaming. The road was just blocked, like full-on blocked for an hour. So anyway, I'm not going to read all through the rest of it, but some craziness going on there in California. I'm moving through these pretty quick. Works for me. Oh, man. I'm certainly ready for bed. Got all the songs scheduled for this week, so automatically tomorrow and the next day at 8 p.m. the songs will release. And that's how I'm going to do that. I'm just going to schedule them to release on their own, and I'm going to just keep batting at them, so who knows. I could be done with the whole playlist and Croak Dead or whatever, and the things will still be posting 5 days or 5 nights a week here on YouTube, so oh, man. Let me take off this damn shirt. I always get warmer when I do the show. And I know better than to have a long sleeve shirt on while I'm doing the show, but I left it on anyway, so. I've got 2 articles left. One of them just popped up while we were doing the show. I wanted to read that one because it relates to the one that I'm going to tell you about now. Trump refuses to rule out use of military force to take control of Greenland and the Panama Canal. President-elect Donald Trump on Tuesday said he would not rule out the use of military force to seize control of the Panama Canal and Greenland, as he declared U.S. control of both to be vital to American national security. Speaking to reporters less than 2 weeks before he takes office on January 20th, and as a delegation of aides and advisors that includes Donald Trump Jr. is in Greenland, Trump left open the use of American military to secure both territories. Trump's intention marks a rejection of decades of U.S. policy that has prioritized self-determination over territorial expansion. "I'm not going to commit to that," Trump said when asked if he would rule out the use of the military. "It might be that you'll have to do something. The Panama Canal is vital to our country," he added. "We need Greenland for national security purposes." Greenland, home to a large U.S. military base, is an autonomous territory of Denmark, a longtime U.S. ally and a founding member of NATO. Trump cast doubts on the legitimacy of Denmark's claim to Greenland. The Panama Canal has been solely controlled by the eponymous country for more than 25 years. The U.S. returned the Panama Canal zone to the country in 1979 and ended its joint partnership in controlling the strategic waterway in 1999. Addressing Trump's comments in an interview with Danish broadcaster TV2, Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen called on the United States Denmark's most important and closest ally, and that she did not believe that the United States will use military or economic power to secure control over Greenland. Frederiksen repeated that she welcomed the United States taking a greater interest in the Arctic region, but that it would have to be done in a way that was respectful of the Greenlandic people, she said. At the same time, it must be done in a way that allows Denmark and the United States to still cooperate in, among other things, NATO, Frederiksen said. So, I mean, if you're kind of just following along there, it almost sounds like there's been some certain talks about this. Now, I have to point this out. I would not be responsible if I did not point this out. One of the reasons so many people got behind Trump was because they thought there was going to be an end to these wars, like before. They thought that he was going to be the peaceful president. We'll have to see. I mean, I'm not going to make any predictions because that would be stupid. I'm not going to be one of the idiotic pepper channels. But this could be a wild card from now on until whatever he plans to do. Man, I was kind of hoping that we could back away from all conflict, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And it kind of looks like he's got very, very strong eyes looking at Iran. I'm not a fan of that idea, but, you know, I don't care for who's in control. I will say that. They clearly get their way with every single politician. And I'll just say that, and I'll leave it at that. I hope, though, that we're not heading into a war in 4 or 5 different places. That would be crazy. I don't know. Let me just throw one other thing out there. Trump began by getting people gung-ho about Operation Warp Speed. He damn well tried anyway. and then the left push, 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 push. I wouldn't be surprised if we aren't knee-deep in conflict, neck-deep in conflict within the next couple of years. Bait and switch, yo. Bait and switch. Trump posts maps of Canada as U.S. territory. This came in while we were live. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has shared 2 maps on social media showing Canada as American territory. He posted the images hours after officials in Ottawa rejected his repeated claim that Canadians would be happier under U.S. rule. On Wednesday, Trump took to his Truth Social platform to share a map of the U.S. and Canada as a single country, with the state border erased and the words United States superimposed on the new entity. He then posted an image of the territory of both nations, painted in the colors of the U.S. flag, accompanied by the words, "Oh, Canada." So, yeah. Whatever. Stupid. It's just my opinion, but it might not go over so easy. I mean, I can't see everybody all up on that scheme. I don't know. Sounds like he's got this whole Greenland thing talked about at the very least, and they're continuing clearly to talk about it. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to hop out of here. I'm done with all the articles, and I'm ready to go to bed. So I was working on songs quite a bit today. Probably going to work on them quite a bit tomorrow. I want to try to get all of next week's music done. I don't know, maybe even before this weekend. Have it all scheduled to go up. Nothing wrong with that. So, anyway, with that, I am out of here. I hope you all have a great night, and shalom.